All right, I will say good morning. Let's continue. Actually, tomorrow we finish Parak Yud Aleph. Tomorrow we actually finish the 11th chapter of Mesillas Yesharim. So Mesillas Yesharim today, we continue. I actually left off one paragraph earlier. I left off one paragraph early yesterday just because of time. So today we're picking up in Mesillas Yesharim Monday, the 11th of Kislev, December 5th. And let us begin. Yesira ala chamdas hakoved. So I remember again yesterday we were talking about the concept of desiring money and how detrimental and overwhelming that particular midah could be, and how again the desire, unhealthy desire with money could lead a person to transgress in so many different dramatic ways. Even more detrimental than the desire for money, Yesira ala chamdas hakoved. Ultimately, again, is the desire for honor. It's possible. The Chachzek is incredible. It's possible for a person to subdue that unhealthy desire for money, the unhealthy desire for other pleasures. I will say one of the hardest things is to try to go ahead and subdue the desire for kavod, for honor. He says that want for honor is something that pushes us and propels us in life. Ki i'afshelo lisbol v'liros es atzmo pachos mechavero. So this is incredible. The Ramchal writes, what is it about honor that pushes people to do the craziest things to attain it? The Ramchal says, because at the end of the day, the one thing I can't handle is to see or to think that I am inferior to my friend. In other words, let's say it's an interesting thing. You know, when you're somewhere where you don't know anyone and you see people who have more than you, it doesn't impact you. It doesn't impact you, right? In other words, like, you don't think about it. But yet, when you're home, right, you're in your community, you see your friend, this one has this, and this one has this, and this one has this accomplishment, and this one purchased this. It gets to you. So why the distinction? And then Ramchal says it's very simple. The desire for kavod doesn't come because I myself need to be the best, but it's often because it's difficult for me to see someone else have more success than I do, which is really an incredible insight into human psychology, right? In other words, the knowledge that there are other people who are more successful than me, or other people who have more than me. It's an interesting thing on the I mentioned this before. In the Friday Wall Street Journal, they have this section called Mansion. And it's just fascinating to read. It literally, Kishmo Kenhu, it's about these homes. Like, they have like the craziest stuff in the world. Just like crazy stuff. And you wonder, like, why do people build this stuff? Like, it doesn't even make sense. 15,000 square feet, 14 bedrooms, 2 indoor infinity pools, a full covers. First of all, no one needs more than one indoor infinity pool. That's number one, right? I'm just saying, it's fascinating. So, like, you read it, I don't think anyone reads it, I'm like, oh, you know what? I feel so deficient, right? I needed that. No, why? Because there's no shaykhs. Like, it's no shaykhs. Yet, again, my friend gets something, or my friend enjoys some level of success, it's burning. What's the pshat? Shemchal says, because it's hard to see someone else be more successful than I am. It's hard to see my friend have something that I don't. He says, lo lispo veliros es atzmo pachos mechaverav. I can't see, it's difficult for me to see myself on a lower level than my friend. The outdoors and actually rab. So what ends up happening? Because I never want to feel lesser than one of my peers, so I run after kavod. Because what does kavod do? Kavod propels me. Kavod lifts me up. Kavod makes me feel good about me. And I don't want to feel less than anyone else. The Rebbe says it's incredible. V'hinei, Yirava me'nevat, lo nitrag me'olam haba, ela ba'avor ha'kavod. The Rebbe says it's incredible. Yirava me'nevat, we spoke about this yesterday. In yesterday's daf, actually, if you remember again, right, the Gemara made reference to the idea of listening to elder people, not the young people. The example was Shlomo HaMelech, Rechavam. So remember again, Rechavam rules with an iron hand. As a result, 10 of the tribes secede. Right, they form a new separate kingdom under the leadership of Yeravam ben Nevat. Yeravam ben Nevat began his monarchy as a good man, as a good man. But Rabbi said, what ended up happening? As a result or a desire to maintain his covet, to maintain honor, he did the most terrible things. For example, what did Yeravam do? Yeravam built the two golden calves. He positioned them at the border of his kingdom. Why did he build two golden calves? He did not want people being ola regal. He did not want them going to the Beis HaMikdash. Why didn't he want them going to the Beis HaMikdash? Because if they would go to the Beis HaMikdash, he would lose his grip on his monarchy. Remember again, the Beis HaMikdash is a great unifier. And the Beis HaMikdash was in the tribal area of Yehuda and Binyamin. So he was scared that if people would start traveling to the Beis HaMikdash, again, they would leave him and go to Rechavam. So what does he do? He introduces idolatry in order to solidify his hold on his monarchy. I will say, but not only that, watch this. The Gemara says, Yeravam ben Nevat lost his Olam Haba. Why did he lose his Olam Haba? Shalom Zechron Levrak, Gemara quotes Gemara Sanhedrin. Tafso, HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'Bigdo. HaKadosh Baruch Hu took Yeravam ben Nevat by if you can imagine, like by the lapel. Ba'amar lo, Chazar becha. Listen to this. Hashem says to Yeravam ben Nevat, do tshuva. Va'ani, va'ata, u'ben Yishai netayil began Eden. They will say, listen to this offer. Hashem says to Yeravam ben Nevat, do tshuva. And if you do tshuva, me, you, and David HaMelech could stroll together in Gan Eden. I will say, can you imagine if HaKadosh Baruch Hu appeared to you, took you by the lapel, said, listen, you, David HaMelech, we're going to stroll together in Gan Eden. Just get it together. So listen to this. So Amar lo, mi barosh. So Yeravam ben Nevat says, tell me, God, who gets to walk first? Who gets to be first in line? Amar lo, ben Yishai barosh. Listen, Yeravam, I love you. David HaMelech is going to lead. Right, the father of the dynastic monarchy, father of the messianic line, he's going to lead. Amar lo, ihachi lo beina. Yeravam ben Nevat says, if that's the case, I'll pass. Why Rabbi say? Why? Because Yeravam ben Nevat couldn't be first. Because he couldn't be first, he gives up Olam Haba. Because he couldn't be first, he gives up tshuva. Rabbi say, but herein, says the Ramchal, shows herein lies the destructive nature of the desire for kavod. When it becomes all about my honor, when it becomes all about my ego, and all of these things are interconnected, right? Gaiva, kas, kavod, they're all different dimensions of the same negative trait. But I feel so unable to see someone else be put above me that I'll do the most ridiculous things in order to propel myself forward. Just to understand how all of them work together, remember, I will say, we all know, when people really search out kavod, what are they really masking? They're masking a profound sense of insecurity and inferiority. Healthy, stable, happy people do not need everyone to give them kavod. They're good with where they are. It's unhealthy, unstable, insecure people who need everyone else to prop them up in order for them to feel good. And I would say it's all the same thing. When do people become baligaiva, right? When do people become egocentric? All of these things often mask profound insecurities. Migaram l'Korach, shiyovahu v'chol adasu imo. I will say, what caused Korach and his entire assembly to be swallowed up by the earth? Elam me'akavit. It was because of kavod. Umikram alihu bikashtem gam kuna v'chachamim. Zichron levracha, he gidolanu, ki kol ze nimshach, mimei shara litzav ben Uziel nasi, ve'erotze lios, hu nasi b'mkomo. I will say Korach, the entire rebellion of Korach. Right? Remember again, Korach frames it as a righteous battle. Right? There's a righteous battle. I'm fighting for the common man. He wasn't fighting for the common man. He was upset that he was not appointed as a tribal prince, or I should say a head of family. Elitzapha ben Uziel was appointed. He felt he was passed over for the promotion. Someone else got kavod that he felt he deserved. So what does he do? He leads an entire insurrection that ended with such terrible and horrific results for Korach and for everyone. Why? Kavod. Because he felt he didn't get enough respect. He felt that he was passed over for a promotion. Mirasam penyimat kvodam nichnisas haaretz shelo yehei heim nisim liyisrael v'yamdu achirim bimkoman. The Zohar writes, the reason why the Meraglim went ahead and spoke slanderously about Eretz Yisrael. Was why? Because they felt that if they were going to Eretz Yisrael, what's going to happen? They're no longer going to have their positions of honor. Other people will be appointed in their stead, and they did anything and everything in their power to hold on to their kavod, even if it meant maligning Eretz Yisrael and literally causing an entire generation to die out. Let's say, why did Shaul turn against David? Remember again, we know Shaul tried to kill David. Hika Shaul ba'alafav v'David b'rivivosov v'Shaul oyein es David mehayom ahu v'hala. What happened? There was a ticker-tape parade right after one of the military victories, and the girls were singing, Shaul kills thousands, David kills tens of thousands. Shaul heard this, and this was his unraveling. This was, someone's greater than me? Someone's greater than me? Someone's being given more covetable. So do you see this incredible pattern? Yerava ben Nevat, Korach, the Meraglim, Shaul, people become totally unraveled. Why? Because they perceive that someone else is getting more covet than they are. This ultimately goes ahead and amplifies all insecurities that already exist, and people do the craziest things to hold on to their covet. He goes on, he says, Migarim liyoav, shiamis esamasa. What caused Yoav to go ahead and kill Amasa? Ela covet, shamar lo David, im lo sar tzavat tziyeh lefanai kal yor. Let's finish up. Klalo shel davar. Here is the klal. And there are many other examples that Ramchal did not quote. Klalo shel davar, here's the rule. HaKavod hu adochek es leif ha'adam yosem mikalat shukos v'achama lo sheba olam. Isn't that what I say? Ramchal said, just know, covet, right, the desire for honor. The desire for honor pushes us to do things more than any other desire in this world. Which I will say, and it makes perfect sense. Everybody wants to feel good about themselves. I want to feel good about me. When you get covet, you feel good. You feel good. So because I want to feel good about myself, at the end of the day, we do the craziest things to acquire covet. I will say, of course, the real answer in life is feel good about yourself, not because of the honor that other people give you. Feel good about yourself because you're accomplishing. Feel good about yourself because you're leading a meaningful life. Feel good about yourself because you're doing the right thing. Never allow your life happiness to be dependent on the reaction of the people around you. Otherwise, you open yourself to all of the deleterious effects of covet. Let's finish up. V'lulei zeh kvar haya adam misratza lecho ma sheyuchal lilbosh ma sheyichaser and ma sheyichaser vaso v'lishkon b'bayis shetastireh min hapegaim v'haisa parnasasa kala alav v'lo taya tzarich lehisyageh laha'ashir klal. I will say this is incredible. Without covet, by the way, the truth is a person would be ready to give up a lot of earthly and worldly pleasures. For example, I will say, if it weren't for covet, the truth is, I would eat anything. In other words, I don't need the fanciest item. I don't need the fanciest meat, the fanciest wine. If it weren't for covet, again, the truth is anything would do. If it weren't for covet, clothing, as long as it covers your body and gives you warmth, you'd be good to go, right? Without covet, I don't need a fancy home, right? Whatever I have is going to be totally fine as long as it protects me from the elements, right? Without covet, ultimately, again, I wouldn't necessarily need to make all the money that I make. I'd be happy with just having what I need in order to be able to survive. I will say, it is a very profound idea, which is that whether we recognize it or not, so many of the things that we push ourselves for in life, it's not because we need it, it's because it affords us a certain level of status. It affords us a certain level of status. And that status is dependent on where it was. I always find this, to me, the funniest thing always is a person has a car, okay, whatever kind of car, the great almost like equalizer and humbleizer is, you go to Eretz Yisrael, and you rent a car, right? So I will tell you that the goal and the best thing to rent in Eretz Yisrael, the best kind of car, the smaller the better, right? The smaller the better. So to be honest, let's say, often you're in Eretz Yisrael, you're driving a car. I wouldn't buy that car here. I wouldn't drive that car here, right? And then it's perfect. Service my needs. Why not? Why wouldn't I buy that car here? Because I'm honest. Because in Eretz Yisrael, when everyone else is driving the same thing, it's fine. It doesn't make a difference. Here already, again, if I drive that represents this, that looks like this. I don't know that I would drive it. It's an incredible thing. The Chal says whether we recognize it or not, so many of the things we do in life, the things we drive, the things we buy, the things we wear, the food we eat, is not because deep down this is what I really need. It's because it's status. And the need to keep up status is the desire for kavod. And whether we recognize it or not, I will say all of us play into this and ultimately, again, are afflicted by this because it mamish is an affliction in some way, shape, or form. All right, we'll have to stop over here. All right, I'm going to stop here because it's already late. We'll pick up here. We're still a few lines behind. We'll pick up with this tomorrow. Shkoyach.